equations of lines. And essentially what we're looking at is that we're using gradient intercept form that hopefully you've learnt from past years, and general form, and answer questions on linear equations. So this won't be a long video, it's just going to explain what we need to know. And then hopefully you get going from there, if not ask questions in class. Alright, so gradient intercept form is this, okay? So it's y equals mx plus b. But what's the coefficient of x? Well, it's m, and m is the gradient, all right? What's the coefficient of, what's the y-intercept? Well, it's plus b, all right? So y-intercept, all right? And hence the name gradient intercept form, because when we make it y equals a linear equation, we get the gradient and intercept. And just to reiterate that, I just want to look at this. For example, this one. What's the gradient? Well, the coefficient of x is 2, so the gradient is 2. What is the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept is plus 3. So let me color code that. So the gradient is 2, so that would be that. And the y-intercept is plus 3, so that's the y-intercept there. So it's pretty easy to say. So let's answer this question in red. It says, write down the gradient and y-intercept. So the gradient equals 2. Y-intercept is plus 3, okay, or 3. I just want to make a note of it because we have to include the sign, and also with the gradient as well, so I should have written plus 2. All right, find an equation that is parallel to the above equations that goes through the point 2, 1. So if I know that the gradient, what do I know about parallel equations? They have the same gradient, okay? So this is what I know so far. That we've got y equals 2x, but I don't know my y-intercept. But I do know that it goes through this point. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, you've got x and y. So the x point is 2 and the y point is 1. Okay, so I'm going to substitute those two into here. Okay, so let's do that. So the y point is 1, so I'm going to go 1 equals, and then we've got 2 times, what's our x? 2 plus b. So now we just solve for b. So we've got 1 equals 4 plus b. And I'm going to put a line here so I can keep working. So therefore, b equals minus 3. It looks like, because you move that to the other side. And so therefore, y equals 2x minus 3 is that line that we're looking for. Okay, so you can be asked many different questions, all right? So for example, if it wasn't parallel and it was perpendicular, then I won't be working with the gradient of 2. I'll be working with the negative reciprocal, which is what? Minus 1 over 2, all right? So the questions can differ, okay? Now we have general form, okay? So we have gradient intercept form, which is really good to find the gradient and the y-intercept. General form is another form that we use. So I'm going to use the same equation that we looked before and put it into general form. So what it wants is that it wants us to make it equal to 0, and so we've got to move everything across. Now what we do is that we want this coefficient of a to be a positive number. Okay, that's normally the standard that we use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that y to the other side, all right, so minus y there, so I'm going to put minus y in here. So therefore I'm left with nothing on the left-hand side, so nothing represented mathematically is 0. And then we've got 2x minus y plus 3, okay? So that is in general form. And I'm just going to reiterate, so using this, where a equals 2, b equals negative 1, and c equals positive 3. So Hopefully you can see that. I'm just going to reiterate it one more time. A is 2 because it's a coefficient of x. B is -1 because it's a coefficient of y. C equals 3 because it's a coefficient of 3, because we need to put it in this form that I'm highlighting right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the end of the video. So peace